suspicion that the properties were acquired through unlawful activities. Before delivering the substantive judgment, the judge dismissed several applications and motions on a notice filed by Malami, his family members, and some companies linked to the properties, describing them as wanting in merit. But in an interview with Daily Trust reports that the EFCC had in January 2026 instituted a civil proceeding against Malami, seeking the permanent forfeiture of 57 properties valued at 212.8 billion naira. The anti-graft agency alleged that the properties were proceeds of unlawful activities linked to the former AGE. On 16 January, during the Federal High Court's annual vacation, Judge Justice Emeka Nwite granted an interim forfeiture order on the properties. All right, pages 3 and 4 has more on that story, and that is from the Daily Trust newspaper. And still with the Daily Trust newspaper, let's go to the top head. And let's see if we can take a quick peek into the story before we move. Let's see if we can take a quick peek into the story before we move to other reports. All right, the details, it states here that the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigerian Petroleum has called on the federal government to urgently revive the country's state-owned refineries amidst decision by Dangote Refinery to suspend the sale of petroleum products in Naira while switching to dollar-denominated transactions. Petroleum National President Dr. Billy Gellis Harry said the operation of the Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna refineries would provide a vital check mechanism in the downstream petroleum sector and prevent market dominance by a single supplier. Speaking in Lagos on Wednesday, Gellis Harry said although the association supports the regulated petroleum market, the reported decision by Dangote Refinery underscores the need for multiple operational refineries to guarantee competition, protect consumers, and strengthen Nigeria's energy security. All right, that story is on, the rest of it is on Business Report, and check other stories from the Daily Trust newspaper. Herbalist asked me to kill my family of 7, not coming from me, but from a suspect. And if you're suspicious of this report, page 17 has it. FJ launches online birth death registration system, page 24. Okay, let's move away, and below the masthead we have this story here. It says NECO candidate official principal abducted in Kogi. All right, part of the detail states bandits on Tuesday reportedly attacked a government secondary school, Okpada Olowa, in the Kina local government area of Kogi State and abducted the principal, a supervisor of the National Examinations Council, NECO, and 4 students, while the principal was identified as Mr. Inyanda Daniel and the NECO official as Mr. Solomon Audu. The suspected students could not be immediately identified. The attack was said to have occurred around 2 p.m. when students were sitting the examination. Residents said the attackers stormed the community, firing sporadically to scare people from invading the school. All right, Daily Trust newspaper has more on that security update. All right, and let's move away from that and check other reports from the Daily Trust. FD concludes evacuation of Nigerians from South Africa. All right, finally, the much talked about Nigerians who are left in South Africa. So finally, they are back. They are back home. Okay, let's see this other report. Alleged 15.5 million naira fraud. Ex a code of conduct chair gets 100 million naira bill. All right, pages 12 and pages 6 of the Daily Trust newspaper has respectively has those details. 20-year-old commits suicide over alleged this heartbreaking story over alleged rape. Page 6 has the details of that Metro report from the Daily Trust newspaper. All right, let's move away from the Daily Trust and head straight to Deloitte Africa. Nigeria's economy is on steady growth. Okay, let's see if we can take a quick bite into that story before we move positive development and growth indicators. All right, the details. It said President Bola Tinubu has done a review of Nigeria's economy since he assumed office more than 3 years ago, with the declaration that Nigeria's economy is on steady growth. Speaking on Wednesday while receiving in audience a delegation from Deloitte Africa, led by the Chief Executive Officer CEO, Ruwada Redfern, at the State House, the President said the ongoing financial and fiscal reforms has steadily stabilized the nation's economy over 3 years, with growing pundits for positive development and growth indicators. According to Tinubu, and I quote, "We are following the example of Deloitte greatness to change things from the foundation, building the necessary future for our people. Yes, reforms are difficult. It has not been a McDonald's customer relationship, but a harvest of good things if implemented well. And that is what we are about." All right, there's more of the President's statement inside the inside this day newspaper. Just get a copy and look up that report. All right, so let's check other stories from this day. This one says here, to this business report, inflation drops marginally to 15.98. Okay, away from that, to the middle of the this day newspaper. Okay, it said at launch of $500 million Niger Delta Agri Fund, Shetima says it's a worthy cause for nation. Page 33 of this day. Appeal court nullifies order halting NBA election, says AGF cannot issue directives to courts. And of course, with Ryder condemns a forum shopping, strikes out a suit for want of jurisdiction. Okay, a quick peek before we move away. The Court of Appeal has set aside the proceedings and interim orders of the State High Court that halted the 2026 Nigerian Bar Association NBA and national officers election, finding that the lower courts lacked the jurisdiction to curtail the suit, to entertain the suit. I beg your pardon. All right, page 8 has the details, the rest of the details of that story. Senate Appeal Court nullifies order halting NBA election, says AGF cannot issue directives to court. Okay, let's move away from that story and to this one. Senate leader, first line charge will shield state police from cabals criminals could hijack it if poorly funded. Funding must be clearly spelled out before kickoff, declares Speaker Abbas. Page 8 has the details. Okay, let's see. Still from this day newspaper, you have a board picture. State Tinubu meets the Deloitte Africa leadership team. Well, from left to right, we have Deloitte West Africa energy leader Lumide Esson, chief executive officer Deloitte West Africa Yomi Olugbenro, chief executive officer Deloitte Africa Ruwada Redfern, president Bola Tinubu, Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy Wale Edun, Executive Chairman Nigeria Revenue Service Zak Adedeji, during a visit by the Deloitte leadership to President Tinubu at the State House Abuja on Wednesday. Okay, it's on the front page of this day newspaper. All right, let's move away from this day newspaper and head straight to the Vanguard newspaper. All right, food inflation still rising despite drop in headline rates. Page 13 of the Vanguard newspaper. And of course, still on the top head, below that business report, NDDC, I beg your pardon, mobilizes $500 million Niger Delta Agri Fund to galvanize food production. Page 28. Xenophobia, FG concludes South Africa evacuation, brings home 1,419 Nigerians. Page 8. Southeast has been North's ally. We must forgive ourselves, says Kwankwaso. Page 27. All right, so let's go a bit below the Vanguard there. It said government raid Kogi school, abduct principal, NECO official, students. And of course with riders, one student rescued. That's according to police. Governor Ododo mobilizes security agents to rescue abductees. It's time to make safe school initiative work. That's according to Naptan NUT. Terrorists abduct 3 newly passed out soldiers in Zamfara. Demand 50 million naira ransom. All right, all that is inside page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. And still on security matters, a Plateau bloodbath. Youth claim 50 killed in 1 week. Demand justice. Page 33. All right, and below the masthead, on the 8 offenders don't need to be in jail. All right, that's according to Chidi Ojo. Okay, he's stated that 93% of inmates are state offenders, while half don't need to be in jail. All right, page 8. If you'd like to look up on that story. Okay, still below the masthead, NCAA bans a pilot who landed plane on Delta Road. Page 9. Okay, state police governors can't turn outfit into private army, says Abbas. With a rider found he must be on first line charge, and that's according to Bamidele. Well, pages 9 and 12, of course, has the rest of has the detail of that headline. Alleged money laundering, court orders final forfeiture of Malami's 48 properties. Page 7. Nigerian priest in US commits suicide after order to return home. A sad one there. Page 6 has the rest. Okay. All right, let's move away from the Vanguard and head straight to the Punch. The Punch newspaper is up next. Okay, from the top head, Atiku presidency clash as Senate rejects fresh probe with riders. It says fake agency controversy deepens as first calls for probe rise. Ex-VP challenges 1.3 billion naira agency fund, calls for independent probe queries, cap 6.4 billion naira budget. Presidency fires back at Atiku, back ICPC probe of a scandal. All this, the headline itself, and of course its riders, the details of it, check page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Now, stay with the Punch newspaper. Let's go to the top head of the Punch newspaper. All right, poverty threatens 79% of Nigerians despite reforms. That's according to World Bank. Quite a troubling business report there, but page 22 has the details of PSC unveils 50,000 police recruits. Page 17. Okay, still with the Punch. State Police, UK backs reforms as NAS lists safeguards. Page 16. All right, let's move away from that story and go below the masthead. Here we can see pictures. That's the story says South Africa attacks FD complete evacuation brings 1,490 Nigerians home. Page 7, and of course there you see pictures of returnees, those especially those who survived the xenophobic attack in South Africa, and of course a good one on the part of the government to have evacuated these individuals back home. All right, let's go to more story. This is sports. It says World Cup, Argentina beat England, face Spain in final. 6 killed as gas truck explodes at Kogi Army checkpoint. Pages 4 and 5. Court orders FD to take over of 48 properties linked to Malami. That's on fraud-related matter. The details, page 17 from the Punch newspaper. Now let's move away from the Punch newspaper and head to the Guardian. Now from the Guardian newspaper, this one says nomination candidates row over INEC's deadline. Compliance as parties seek further extension. All right, page 6. There you have it on the front page of the Guardian. 10% as rising energy prices trigger fresh concern. That's on page 3. National Assembly proposes fiscal autonomy for state police. Page 3 of the Guardian. Senate gives NNPCL auditors 1 week to explain 210 trillion unreconciled figures. Page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. Now let's go below the masthead of the Guardian newspaper. Again, Tinubu Defense Administration's economic reforms. And if you want to see details of the explanation made by the president, go look up The Guardian and check page 7. There you find it. Senate rejects a PFIPC probe as Atiku slams FG over 6.44 billion naira World Cup budget. Page 6. Court orders final forfeiture of 40 properties linked to Malami. Page 4. This story itself, it's this fraud-related matter story is on majorly on all national stories. FD evacuates another home. All right, below it, Oriwe abduction. A Senate donates 50 million naira to families to slain teachers, security personnel. All right, a good one on the part of our legislators. Page 5. Okay, Education Ministry, NBS, begin fresh out of school children survey. That news is on page 30 of The Guardian. All right, let's guard away from The Guardian and move to The Nation. To The Nation newspaper. Now, from The Nation newspaper, we have the major story. It says here, court orders final forfeiture of 48 assets linked to Malami, with a rider properties located in Abuja, Kano, Kebbi, Kaduna State, estimated at 212.8 billion naira. To the top head of The Nation newspaper, PSC opens a portal for 50,000 new policemen. Documentation begins, and that's on page 6. UN warns terror threats in West Africa Sahel. Page 2. That has details of that warning. Okay, INEC portal opens Saturday for governorship candidates upload. Page 3. FAAC highest ever 2.5 trillion share to of state police. That story. Check page 2 of that story of that headline. Okay, there you also have pictures of individuals. Abuja rises for NDDC Agric Summit program. Okay, from right we have NDDC Managing Director Dr. Samuel Ogbuka, the chairman Mr. Chinedu. We also have Vice President Kashim Shetima, Regional Development Minister. All right, there you have the pictures of these dignitaries during the Niger Delta Agricultural Development and Investment Summit in Abuja. All right, the major story from the Daily Times. Okay, it says 5.3 trillion naira row. OAGF accuses CBN of non-remittance. Apex Bank keeps mum. Okay, let's go to the top head. NACO vehicle crashes into airpiece at Lagos Airport, disrupting light operations. Okay, and Nigeria's 4.1% growth forecast and mask deeper economic challenge. That's according to IMF. All right, still on the front page of the Daily Times newspaper. Now let's go below the masthead. Monarch orders headers out of Otukpo Kingdom after deadly attacks. We've come to the end of newspaper review on early starters. Well, thank you so much for joining us. God willing, newspaper review will be back again tomorrow on early starters. Precious Olushayo is my name, and coming up next is Operatune TV Sports with Michael Armstrong. Good morning.
Vegetables are indispensable in our diet, offering vital nutrients that sustain life, promote health, and prevent diseases. These edible parts have nutritional and medicinal properties. Truly, homegrown vegetables are a powerhouse of nourishment and wellness. In Nigeria, We are blessed with a diverse array of vegetables that are both accessible and highly beneficial. Here are some examples, along with their proven health benefits. Sweet potatoes are rich in fiber and vitamin A. They enhance digestive health and support a strong immune system. Okra is a vegetable packed with soluble fiber. It helps lower cholesterol. Radish improves lung function and respiratory health, ideal for individuals with breathing challenges. Scent leaves, known as ephedrine, is renowned for detoxifying the liver and supporting overall body cleansing. Bitter leaf, also known as ewuro, aids in reduces oxidative stress, acting as an anti-aging agent for healthy skin. Red bell peppers, known as datashe, is a rich source of vitamin C that boosts the immune system and fights infections. Spinach. This enhances kidney health and cognitive function due to its high iron and folate content. Garlic improves blood circulation and lowers blood pressure with its sulfur-based compounds. Broccoli. This contains powerful compounds that help prevent cancer by neutralizing free radicals. Carrots are rich in beta-carotene. They promote healthy skin and improve vision. Beetroot. This boosts heart health by improving blood flow and lowering blood pressure. Pumpkin, ideal for weight management and liver health. Water leaf helps regulate blood sugar and supports diabetes management. To get the most out of your vegetables, it is important to include a mix of vegetables in your daily meals to maximize nutrient intake. Add raw vegetables to salads to use as toppings to retain their natural enzymes and antioxidants. Vegetables are more than just food. They are natural medicine for the body and soul. With Nigeria's vast range of homegrown options, making them a staple in your diet is not only easy, but as incredibly rewarding. Whether it's supporting heart health, improves the power of vegetables, and let your body thank you for years to come.
Okay, that is about time. You know the person in front of you is named called Michael Armstrong. It is Sports Update. I will be giving you headline stories of sports around the globe. We're starting today with yes, the Morning Star Sports paper is talking on or less that one or two things that happened within the arena of sports. And what we're bringing to you is broke back England despite India setback. Broke back England despite India said, but our skipper insists team is moving in right direction ahead Cardiff clash. That is for men's cricket. You can see the man with the bat and he's dropping it high and he's not flinching. Then from cricket, inside what you will see in the Morning Star Sports, we have Whistling Claude wins fastest ever Tour de France stage. The guy's name is Wickens Scott. Stay tuned on the station. We'll give you more information on the Tour de France. Here, kudos to Winston. Yes, that's what you're seeing on your front page. He said Winston was the fastest ever to win the Morning Star Sports on Operatune Television. Then from there on men's football, we see Amnesty warns Aston Villa over Rwanda sponsor. Amnesty warns Aston credibility in sports. Yes, drop visit Rwanda. Amnesty wants Aston Villa. I say drop visit Rwanda. Now, stay tuned to the station for more story, but you can go to the Morning Star Sports to see more information for yourself. Now, Palace. That's on women football. Palace signs star striker following promotion. Yes, sir. Former Lioness Bethany England top striker joined newly promoted Crystal Palace as a free transfer and promoted to the WSL, which is known as Women's Super League in England. So watch out for more information on that. And you know, the morning sports, they just keep it brief. We have cricket, we have men's football. Some people are saying drop these people, do not advertise for them. Then after that, Palace. Crystal Palace has a female wing in the Super League, in the Women's Super League. That is very interesting. From there, we will chime in. We are moving to the next newspaper. The next newspaper you'll be seeing on your screen is called Herald Sports paper. The Herald Sports have none other than saying McIntyre gets his head down. Now, Scott is playing smart with his game. Now, the Scottish man is playing smart with his game, and he's also looking for professional association, got professional league, and that is what he's saying. You can see that on the page 2, on the page 3 on the Herald Sport. Herald Sport is just giving you a tip of more tips. So that is just it. So from Herald Sport, we are still talking about the page 6 and the page 7. We say a dream move. He said we sit down with Shankland to talk contract clause and keeping faith. That's what you're seeing on your screen on the page 6 and on the page 7 of the Herald Sport. Now, below the front banner, below the viewing scope of the picture, we see inside 12 pages, and they're telling you amount of press page on this Thursday. Then we also have William Hill, Premiership, O'Neill Post Trust in Desmond to get deals done. That's O'Neill. There's some Premiership. O'Neill is the new Celtic boss, and he wants to bolster his team for next season. You know, those big teams, they look for people who beat their standard. That's why it's good as a professional, create professionals in their field. Then apart from that, then below the front picture, below the front screen picture, we see Nation Champions League. Versatile Smith is eyeing up his next big shot. That's what we're saying on the Herald Sport. Then on the Herald Sport, we saw Soccer Punch. Now, a Soccer Punch is an unexpected punch thrown to dissuade the opponent. He did not see it coming. The opponent didn't see it coming. Just like as it is in front of you, that's on the page 5 of the Herald Sports. Then we see Messi Argentina. I like calling them Argentum. Messi Argentina completes their comeback to end England's World Cup dream. Now, the irony here is this. We have the 1966, 1986. Now, the rivalry has not stopped. So, Messi Argentina is saying, England, pack your bags. Now, just like they did in last World Cup, they have been coming back. Now, yesterday's match there was for the World Cup. Now, still on sports, go to where we just want. On sport point extra, we see Messi in front of the top banner. That's 2-1 lead. The Argentina Basete were able to hold their own. Comeback kids. They did it in the last World Cup. Now they are doing it in this World Cup. That's on the page 2 of the Punch. God. Now, one of the hand of God they believe in this tournament would be the hand of Gianni Infantino showing himself at the time they need to. But at this yesterday's game, there was no high hand. There was no Gianni Infantino to support Argentina. But Messi did not score. The rest scored. Yeah, we had the last goals. But before we bring you that, stay tuned to the station. But on the page 2, we have Messi gain, Lions lost. Now, that's on the page 2 of the Punch Post Extra. But on the page 7, we have Football 1. Zlatan Hills. Magnificent Rodri. Zlatan is a place, he believes in ruggedity. He does not see Messi and see Ronaldo as players. He sees those people walking from the midfield and the defense as players. That is his own take. He can say whatever he likes. Then, now taking you to other information on football, we have World Cup no show. Fans hit back at Eagles over France. That's on the page 2 of the Punch Post Extra. Now let me take you to different stages of the transfer. But before that, we see Nadozie anticipates WAFCON surprises. He said he knows there's going to be a surprise in the WAFCON. Now, we don't know if she's talking about Nigerian surprise in the WAFCON or other countries, but she is one of the best keepers in the world, and she is in Nigeria, saying that there would be surprises, so do not be afraid. Stay tuned and keep yourself formed for the WAFCON is coming. That's on the page 6. Then also on the page 6, we see Ajayi. Koinsola Ajayi has been a sprinter for Nigeria. His earliest best is still showing himself playing for the Osborne club side and is ready for the Diamond League in London. That is that for sports. Then on football, like I just told you, we will be diving into the transfers. For the transfer, we see red card saga made teammates nervous. Balogun was just saying that his red card saga made teammates nervous. Then we see Borges target Yamal. Borges target Yamal home in Spain after Spain reach finals. That's Borglas want to collect their share of their celebration as they target Yamal's home as they reach final. Then from there, Vinicius contract talks on hold. That's on the page 2. The Yamal story too is on the page 2. Then we see York tells United to chase Due or Bakola. York tells United to chase Due or Bakola because they want to prepare for the upcoming season. Then extra, and the word from York telling Man United to go for Due or Bakola. That's on transfer. It's also on the page 4. Then on the page 4 we have Gala point ambitious Foden swoop. Gala is ready to swoop. Says they want something else. Then Osimhen leaves Barca Alvarez alternative. Now Barca says if they want to leave Alvarez to Gala, they should give them Osimhen. Now Osimhen has been in the mouth of most clubs. They even went with a whooping 120 million. The last one was coming to be 125 million. But the teaser today on this Punch Press is Brazilian legend Pelé is the youngest player to score a goal in the Men's World Cup. He was 17 and 239 days old when he scored the winner in the quarterfinals against Wales in 1958. That is the teaser for this morning. So all you sports lovers, all you World Cup lovers, we will be bringing you more information on the station. Just stay tuned. This will be what we have. That's the end of what we have for you on the world of sports. Down the sports paper, that's the end for the world of sports. Punch Sports Extra is the last paper we've treated. We want you to stay tuned as Precious Olushayo comes with business update. Go nowhere, is still early starters on Operatune Television.
We are on the streets of Agbele. Join us as we interview people on the streets of Agbele and ask them some questions relating to the country.
Well, we are in Nigeria, but things is already hard as at this moment now. Everybody know what is going on in Nigeria now. Things is not okay for every one of us in this Nigeria. But we are trying our best. But you know that we have government, but we still pray for government. Maybe if they can more try for a lot of people. So a lot of people are crying, silent, because there's no money. All things is already cost on this world. So that is why we are just managing what we are seeing. So there's no food, there's no money. If there's money now, we are going to find something to buy. But there's no money. Things already hard.
At all, it's not flushing well. It's due to capital. Moreover, people are complaining based on capital and transport. It's even affecting our business. Especially, I'm also a egg dealer as well. The rate to buy the market today is not the price of buying it next week.
Ṣé rí ọjà wa ó wọ́n lọ́wọ́n ni gbogbo ọjà tá à ń rà. A dẹ̀ wá wò yí pé kí la fẹ́ ṣe. Láàárọ̀ ìbáyìí ní ìsìn àwọn káńsù ti wá sọ́dọ̀ wa, kò síbi tá ti fẹ́ jẹun. Kò síbi tá ti fẹ́ jẹun tó ti ń lé wa pé a gbọ́dọ̀ tajà. Àwa dẹ̀ la fà wọ́n pé ó yá kí wọ́n lè túlù wa ìṣe. Ká lè rí jẹ ká lè rí. Ṣó dìgbà tí gbogbo wa bá kú tán ni. Kò dẹ̀ síkú kọ̀ọ̀kan lójú gbogbo wa. Gbogbo wa ní kúkú òjijì. Ṣó ti yé yín? Kó jẹ́ káwa náà jẹun ká yó. Kí ìlú yìí kó dẹ̀rọ̀ fún gbogbo wa. Torí gbà tí ebi bá ń pa wá, ó ti dandan a máa ronú. Tá bá ronú ikú ti dé nìyẹn. Àmọ́ tí a bá dẹ̀ ti ronú tá bá ti kú gbogbo ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá dọ́wọ́ yín o. Ní òkèèrè náà wọ́n sọ pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà is best. So kí wá dé tá nira wa lára. Ká má máa nira wa lára oúnjẹ wọn. Ibi tá máa tajà wá tún máa dà wá láàmú. Kò yẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bá wa fi ètò sí.
I'm just a normal person, but life is so hard. Everything is hard. It's but everybody's keep up.
Yeah, I would say yes and also no, because the system, the country is really affecting us also. As a musician, it's really affecting us because most times transportation is really demanding. But we thank God.
No, I would not really, because
You're still watching Early Starters on Operatune Television, and it is, of course, time for the Global Business Update. All right, I'm talking about what's happening in the world of business this Thursday morning. Shortly, you have the Business Day newspaper on your screen. But what is the business report looking like? Okay, all right, there you have it. But what is the report looking like this morning? All right, the first story there on a Business Day newspaper. Let's check the left-hand corner below it. You see this report that says how Nigeria's 2026 budget buried 210 billion naira in overlapping allocations. So let's see if we can take a quick story for a quick detail. This one says, it says, for years, the Nigerians have been told that the country can no longer afford waste. Successive governments have defended painful economic reforms from fuel subsidy removal to foreign exchange reforms as necessary sacrifices to restore fiscal stability and strengthen public finances. But a Business Day investigations review of Nigeria's 2026 budget suggests the government may not be holding itself to the same standard. Analysis of the 2,604-page Appropriation Act founded at least 210.23 billion naira linked to overlapping allocations, duplicated functions, and fragmented projects spread across ministries, departments, and agencies (MDAs). The investigation structured instances where the same office received funding through separate budget provisions. Flagship government programs appeared under different spending channels, and identical projects were split into multiple budget lines carrying near identical descriptions. Each year, the federal budget is presented as a roadmap for government spending and national priorities. But for lawmakers, development partners, investors, and taxpayers, it is sponsored to provide a clear picture. All right, the rest of that story is inside page 28 of the Business Day newspaper. All right, let's check inside the Business Day newspaper. We have the story that says engineers urge FD to fund modern learning facility. And this one says agents seek maritime fund support for fleet renewal. Blackouts, a group urges urgent national grid overhaul. And so this one, custom bar syndicate smuggling petrol to neighboring countries. A pipeline surveillance gains lift crude output. Foreign fleets maintain dominance in Nigeria's maritime support industry. Inflation still high despite latest decline, OPS warns. And so this other business report, PIA permits Dangote's dollar fuel sales. That's according to regulator. And this one says Sanwo-Olu to declare AAAN's 53rd AGM open. Oh, this one reads, Lasako secures 19.3 billion naira in oversubscribed rights issue. Okay, this one reads, reps demand beneficiaries of 34 trillion naira customs duty waivers. U.S. inflation eases in June on lower energy cost. Economic reforms delivering steady growth. That's according to Tinubu. FT backs artisans with 3.6 billion naira skills. This one says how Nigeria can overcome hunger. That's according to Boa. It's an interesting interview that article that I would intimate Nigerians to just go look up. This one says oil price reserves gains for 0.8% despite escalating U.S.-Iran hostilities. Stock market experts optimistic on H226 but warn investors. NIP 2025 FD positions small businesses as engines of industrialization. Food inflation still rising despite drop in headline rates. Okay, manufacturers sell below production cost to offload 2 trillion naira unsold inventory. All right, let's see this one. Nigerian Benin Customs strengthen border security with geospatial attack. Okay, let's head back straight to the front page of the Business Day newspaper. All right, from Business Day. Okay, let's check from the right-hand corner of the Business Day newspaper. Nigeria's 15.91% inflation cements a case for CBN rates hold. All right, let's see if we can quickly take one more before we wrap up. To gas flaring. After this final story, price jumps 14% to $84 per barrel as US-Iran ceasefire collapses. Okay, with that foreign business report, we've come to the end of global business story for this Thursday morning. Thank you so much for joining us. About early starters continues with our discussion segment, and shortly We'll be diving into our discussion where, of course, we get our analysts who will dissect us and that will be bringing to the fold this morning. Stay tuned. It's still early starters.
Waste disposal has become one of the greatest challenges of modern city, especially in crowded cities. When waste is poorly managed, it pollutes the environment, spreads disease, fuels climate change, and threatens sustainable development. Today, proper waste management is not just a civic duty, it is a public health necessity. Waste comes in many forms. Household waste like food scraps, plastics, and paper. Medical waste such as syringes and used gloves. Industrial waste from factories. Electronic waste like phones, batteries, and fire-safe handling and specialized disposal to protect people and the planet. Improperly discarded waste has severe consequences. Open dumps become breeding grounds for pests and diseases. Plastics and other non-biodegradable clog waterways, kills wildlife and pollutes our air. Methane gas from rotten wastes adds to global warming, and toxic liquids from landfills seep into soil and underground recyclables, organics, and other refuse. Plastics, glass, paper, and metals should be recycled, while organic waste can be composted. Hazardous and medical waste must be disposed of only through licensed facilities. Most importantly, all waste should end up at designated government-approved sites, not on our streets, rivers, or empty lots. Community education plays a key role, helping people understand that their daily habits have long-term effects. Government and industries have their own responsibilities to provide waste bins, recycling centers, and efficient collection services, and to follow environmental regulations strictly. But citizens also have power by consuming mindfully, joining cleanup drives, reporting illegal dumping, and supporting recycling initiatives. The proper disposal of waste is not optional. It is a foundation of healthy cities, clean water, safe air, and a sustainable future. If individuals, communities, industries, and governments work together, waste will no longer be a threat, but a resource managed with purpose and care.
As for me, the hope no touch me. I don't know them at all.
We need hope. It's crazy, man, because to survive now, as a man, as a citizen, it is what it is. Even people walking are screaming. The transport fare is crazy. Standard of living is high. You understand, day-to-day activities with family, with kids. So the country is not friendly presently.
In our country here, in fact, for now, there is nothing to write home about, because you have seen it yourself. Things are not well. Things are not moving fine. I don't know. Talk to government, they will not listen. So we individuals, we are trying to, help ourselves in all means to make sure that we see and live, something to eat. Go everywhere. People are angry. People are hungry. People don't even want to hear about our government, because the government is not taking care of the masses. They only know themselves. You see, they only know themselves. So whatever thing that comes, they share it within themselves.
The first president I saw in this country, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, released 40 agenda and he fulfilled in first tenure, and I am happy in this country. I know see this country is getting better.
We don't want hope. Having hope is just saying, okay, we believe that something is going to come. We want to graduate from believing. We want these things to actually happen, right? So I feel like there's so much more that the renewed hope vision should have carried, but it didn't carry. So we need so much more beyond hope. We need things to work. We need to see them. We need to feel them. We need to experience it.
No, we need renewed hope. We need renewed hope. Extra renewed hope and renewed Pro Max.
I think it's based on the perspective that we are seeing it from. So first of all, one thing that is common for people is that we now as well too. So largely because most of these things are not actually affecting people directly, okay? So people often believe that it is not working, right? Because it's not affecting us directly. But when we look at it, when they come to an organization, you don't just do things that are just going to affect you immediately, right? You need to look at a long-term goal. So what I believe personally is that it's actually working towards a long-term goal for us, which might not be in sync with a lot of Nigerians. Because why? Because we need something that will affect us immediately to put things in order. Just like there is no one that we put there today, right? They are going to have their own challenges as well too.
Segment, and I'm none other than Michael Armstrong on early status with Precious Olushaya. But before we just do a lot of talking, we want to dive into the sport. The sport of discussion today is about so many things, and there's so many things. I just want my counterpart here to just dive in because he likes diving in such situation. But it's not only that something that's happening in the daily, something you're concerned about, something that has been bringing attention and tension to a lot of people. Now the question has been asking, why them? So people have been politicizing the whole system, and some are claiming that it's because he declared to be president, they want to de-president him.
Okay.
In his own
I'm hearing
state.
that for the first time. Is that like the president?
Let's
All
use
right.
the word.
Probably we'll call the attention to new words into the dictionary. So probably Oxford will look out for you. Okay. So for this morning's discussion, now the decision of Nigeria itself, the Nigerian Senate yesterday, to donate 50 million naira to the families of security personnel who lost their lives and during the Oyo rescue effort, has of course sparked debate, another conversation, and nationwide reactions. But if we have to look at it, but anyways, Michael, I'll bring you up shortly because I notice everything that happens, Nigerians are always eager. They're always looking forward to the next conversation that they can just chime in and, you understand, just drag on for as long as the matter can drag for. All right, so now what the gesture many people have said has been widely commended as a recognition of the sacrifices made by the nation's fallen heroes. But it has also raised important questions about equity, consistency, and even the welfare of security personnel across Nigeria. Now, everywhere, members of the armed forces, police, the civil defense, and even other security agencies, they pay the ultimate price, like many people say, in the fight against terrorism, banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and other security threats in different parts of the country. Now, many of their families are left to cope with emotional trauma and economic hardship, often relying on delayed or inadequate support. Now, should special interventions be limited to high-profile incidents, or should there be a uniform national policy that guarantees timely compensation and comprehensive welfare for the families of every fallen hero, regardless of where they served or died? Now, even does the Senate's donation set a positive precedent, or does it expose gaps in Nigeria's support system for those who make the ultimate prize? Well, for today, we'll examine the significance of this donation itself, its broader implications for families of security personnel who have died in other operations across the country, and what this means itself for government responsibility, military morale, and the nation's commitment to honoring those who gave their lives in service to Nigeria. But to be honest with you, this conversation itself, as much as it is debatable, it has a lot of questions like why, and hopefully our guest this morning will be able to give us the answer to all these whys that we have. But at the same time, Michael, like I asked the question, I've noticed a lot of time when there are controversies, I don't want to use the word controversies, when there are matters, when there are issues of concern, you see a lot of Nigerians eating deep, like having a buffet of it, and you understand, debating it. But what is paramount is a gesture has been made here by the Senate, 50 million naira. And according to the report, 10 million naira each for the families, even the 2 teachers that lost their lives. And as I start to the soldiers, so it's not just the soldiers, but also the family, the 2 families, that a gesture that cuts round. Because if you look at it, we do not just have those heroes who lost their lives as far as the Oyo rescue is concerned. We also have other heroes who have paid the ultimate price. Look at those those that died, rescue victims all across Nigeria. Why hasn't said gesture been spread across? But like I said this morning, we have a lot of questions which is begging for answer this morning. But definitely we'll be beginning our guests who will be attending to most of the wise.
Wonderful things. And we hope they go online to make those wonderful things very, very possible. There'll also be a call-in. We'll give you opportunity to call in. But before we do all this, before we feast on this matter, because 50 million is not bread and butter. So we will go for a short break. And when we come back, we introduce our guest. And from there, we'll give you the opportunity to say a thing or two. Stay tuned.
Still the discussion segment to what we have for you this Thursday morning. And not forgetting, like Michael said, you too, our viewers, you get to join the conversation as well after our guest has done thorough justice to it. So this morning we have our guest in person, William Uchechi Ikeagu. He's a clergy and a social commentator. All right, good morning and welcome to Early Starter this morning, sir.
Good morning, please.
Good morning, Oprah. Good morning, viewers.
All right. Okay, so let's dive in quickly, because a lot of Nigerians are ET and heroes. That is of the Oyo rescue effort, and not just the heroes themselves, but also to the 2 individuals who lost their lives, the 2 teachers. But now let's look at it. What message does this Senate 50 million donation send about Nigeria's appreciation for security personnel and civilians who make the ultimate sacrifice here?
Well, thank you very much, viewers. Hello. And the country too, to look deeply into the welfare of the service personnel, both military and police. It is time we overhaul their welfare, their circumstances of service, the places they stay, their residencies. It is time we make their life better, knowing that they are putting their life on the line for you and I to sleep comfortably in our individual places. The average, I was saying that the lowest paid soldier is going with 100,000 naira. Let's examine that. A bag of rice now, conservatively, is about 76,000 naira. You are saying that if the average lowest paid person in the military and the police receives 100,000, if you give me 100,000 and he buys a bag of rice, that's all. The deed is just a one-off something. It's a one-off something. Each of the families of the fallen soldiers and the policeman among them will receive 10 million. The other two civilians will receive 10 million. But over and above this, to go and put their life on the line. These are things that we need to examine. Yes, compensating those that die in line of action is good. But what of those who are still in service? And these people that died in the line of action, how was their life before they went for this particular operation? We have soldiers, in most cases, they buy their own uniform. They buy their own shoes. Most of the things meant for them don't get to them. And if along the line somebody dies, you dole out 10 million naira, commendable. But it's important to look at the root welfare of their living. If they are very comfortable, if they are living above poverty line, the average soldier will be more willing to go into the battlefront. Now, yes, the Senate has done well. I wouldn't say they've not done well. But I'm saying they are in the hallowed chambers. They should interrogate how these people live first and foremost. They should interrogate the welfare packages available to these people. They should interrogate what equipment.
But now let's look at it, Mr. William, because a lot of people hate. But if we also have to look at it, there's also this wild condemnation and the fact that equity was not displayed, because we've seen soldiers, we've seen even a lot of civilians who have also made that ultimate sacrifice to their states. But if we have to look at it, do you think similar financial support be extended to the families of all security personnel who also died in line of duty across Nigeria, regardless of where they served?
Well, in as much as it would have been appropriate to make sure everybody that dies in the line of duty gets something, it all boils down to what I was saying. There have to be things written down in black and white that have to be followed. When discretionary gifts like this come up, that is commendable. But you cannot extend it to every Nigerian, no matter that. If this is instituted, if it is instituted, then we can say yes, there is equity. You don't need the Senate to get together to say, okay, we are going to give this special gift. It should not be a special gift. It should be applicable to our hero that falls in Matumfuri, in Borno, in Katsina, in Uyo, or in Ilorin. Every hero, all of our military personnel, they are on black and white. let's take the US soldier for an example. When a hero falls in the line of duty, there is no how the Senate of the US will say we are giving discretionary something. No. What is due to them is already institutionalized. It is not akin to Trump or to Biden or to Obama or to Clinton to do anything discretionary. It is institutionalized. So the soldier knows, if I go, I don't come back, this will be applicable to my family.
Okay, on two things. First of all, you said welfarism. Then secondly, you're talking about, I want to get this clear. Are you saying that they should institutionalize this so-called gifts? Instead of it being gift, let it be part of the Nigerian Constitution or the military constitution to be able to dole out some particular funding to assist the fallen hero's family and citizens, if I'm getting you correctly. Is that what you're saying?
Basically. If you give those that lost their life in Oyo 10 million, what of those that lose their life in Bruno? What do you give them? Are you saying the life of those that fell in Oyo is of more value than those that fall in Bruno? Or those that fell in Katsina? Or those that fell in Ilori? We are losing men in this battle against Boko Haram, against whatever their names are now, because they are multiplying by the minutes. It should be across board. And we should stop. You cannot call it a gift. This harmony. You are making the soldiers to be disillusioned. We have lost officers and we are still losing them. It is institutions that are run by the whims and caprices of individuals.
All right, if we have to look at it from what played out yesterday at the Senate floor, it is quite obvious that these other individuals that lost their lives as a result of the rescue efforts are being termed heroes. Should they also be officially recognized as national heroes? Because we can see the Senate almost laying the foundation by calling them heroes. So should it be a general terminology that should be used for others who get caught in the crossfire?
You have to look at the circumstances of this particular situation we are talking about. The primary role of the government, due to the inability of the government to protect them, and in the process that citizen dies, every functional country is liable. Because it's the duty of the government to protect that individual. We saw the US coming here with armament. So the whole Oyo saga is a country that failed to protect its own. So both those who are going to be rescued and those who are qualified as hero too. Because the government failed to keep him where he's supposed to be at his duty post.
So the youth area, they have a little bit of, they rub it with a little bit of religion and us as if it's a norm in those areas. Does it arrogate to such people in those areas, please?
Every of Nigeria suffers a breach of its peace. Nigeria as a country is liable. What is happening in the north? Very, very unfortunate. But we must not overlook the fact that every community is a mirror of itself. The same day these children were taken from Oyo, I understand some were taken also from Bruno. What is being done about those places? Are the people complaining? Are the people making noise as much as those in Oyo here did? That's why we talk about a community being a mirror of itself. But the fact of the matter is that every Nigerian is equal to any other Nigerian.
Every life matters.
Every life matters. I wanted to say black life matters, but
no. Every life, black, white, blue, gray, brown, yellow, every life matters.
But let's look at it this way. As much as a lot of people have criticized the gesture of the Senate yesterday, but looking at it, could we say selective intervention, could create feelings of inequality among families of other fallen heroes from different states and, of course, conflict zones?
You know, we live in at its peak. Your ability to exploit this information dissemination will determine on the exposure you will get. If you watch the hue and cry raised up about this Oyo kidnap, and then you watch the hue and cry being raised up about those of them in Maiduguri and even in Katsina, you find out that it is not the country. As we are talking now, there are thousands of Nigerians in different bushes being kept by these same people.
Hello.
We are here.
Okay. Now, with all being said to this effect, do you think Nigerians should monitor, since you said security is everybody's business and the country is also, the letter, the breadth of the country is everybody, the government should protect everybody. That's in the section 14 sub 2. It has been overrated this current time. But now, with what you've said, do you think that we should not interplay this with politics? Because as it is now, everybody is trying to chime in one or two things on politics. They want to drag it to the politics. Then after you answer that, then tell us the religious backing this would bring to the discipline of the present people for safe schooling, as Nigeria has been clamoring in recent times.
The welfare and security of its citizens. No serious country in the world. When you hear people imputing politics into matters of security, that will show you that there is a problem. Number one. Number two, when you see people, leaders for that matter, imputing politics into the life and liveliness of the citizens, that will show you too that the wrong people are in the right places. Now, regarding the security, I mean the biblical issue you spoke about, you are not permitted under any guide to take the life of an individual. And that is why in the Old Testament, you hear the Bible talking about an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a life for a life. As a matter of fact, there was provision in the Old Testament. If somebody commits murder by mistake, because the Bible recognizes that there's a possibility of somebody mistakenly, without intention, killing somebody, he was to go to that city of refuge. So there is nowhere in the Bible where you're permitted to kill, except
beyond the financial donations from our legislators and even politicians generally, what long-term welfare measures should government provide for widows, children, and even dependents of fallen heroes? You know, you've talked about overhaul of even the financial pay of the soldiers themselves. But away from that, what other welfare measure do you think the government can put in place?
Thank you. You know, the problem with our country is not lack of legislation. It is lack of implementation. Now, and I know that there is a group life insurance. I know families that have lost personnel in matters like this, who even 5, 6, 7 years after the head of the family has gone, they are still pursuing this particular policy. So it is not for lack of having these packages, it is the implementation, the ability to grant foreclosure to grieving families in matters like this. That group life insurance compensation is there. But is it a couple of years back, a widow cried out that in trying to access the compensation of the husband, the people in charge were trying to demand to sleep with her. In some other places, you find out that most of the time they will tell you the records are lost. Most of the time, these things are cut into two. So it is not for lack of these things. What this mean is the enabling laws that are there is selective. And like I said earlier on, it can bring discontent, it can bring disharmony.
Okay, clergy. I want your voice to be a little bit clearer. Maybe you shift a little because your voice is a little bit dropping, please.
I hope I'm better now.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you now. All right, but now let's look at it this way. Do you think the National Assembly, do you think they should establish a permanent fallen hero support fund instead of making occasional donations? You know, once they come up with this kind of funds like this, that way, once they have cases of fallen heroes, they can go take from it. And of course, settle these heroes. And aside that too, we can see in developed countries where they have more like a plaque, and they have not the picture but the names of those heroes, where even family members they go there, they just, you understand, they go reminisce and just stay there for it's like a museum. But do you think such should be established here in Nigeria to appreciate those fallen heroes and even their family members?
Well, all these things are things that should be. All these things are things that are applicable in other parts of the world. Number one, let there be a sustainable welfare package for the fallen heroes.
Okay.
Sustainable is the key word. Sustainable and available when the unexpected happens. Because these people, they live in the barracks, the families are used to the barracks, most of them all their life they have lived there. When things like this happen, there is a need for foreclosure. The family will be expected to move out. And from wherever they are, they will now start going up and down, go to Lokoja, go to this place, do. At the end of the day, frustration sets into the family. And the children might ask, is it worthwhile serving my country? Let the Senate look at the total welfare package. Improve it, double it if possible.
Okay.
Look at the enabling laws. We have a cenotaph where they lay flowers on every Armed Forces Remembrance Day.
Yes.
They can create a place where the names of all these people that died in service will have to be, so that even students or research can go to these places. If you write the names, you write a very short recitation that will remind people that there lived this man who donned Nigerian colors and laid down his life for the safety of us all.
Like a mini, like a mini military museum.
Yes.
Yes, we have museums, but I'm talking about You know, most
Yes,
of the
for
military
military,
results,
specifically for military personnel, either the Navy, the Army, or the Air Force.
if you make it specifically for the military,
Okay, what
the
about the
military,
paramilitaries? The paramilitary.
yes, and the civilians. It is the civilians that even need to know that, yes, that I can wear my clothes from here
Okay.
and go to Oshodi and come back, is because some people are awake, making sure that I am secure. And in that process, some people have given their life. Let it be available for everybody to do. Because most of us don't appreciate the sacrifices these people make. Yes, everybody has had, they have given 10 million to the families of these people that died. But everybody will not know the pains the family is going to go through.
The agony.
Yes. Most of these people, their children might still be in primary school. What happens to these children from now till when they graduate? So the part of the welfare the government can set in place is making sure that these children are granted educational opportunities.
Place them on scholarship.
Exactly. Grant them pre-education from primary maybe to university because their father laid down their lives for that. And when they come out, give them concessionary employment opportunities because they have lost the head of the family. When these people have these facilities, it will help them. I have known soldiers that died in the line of duty. After a few days or a few months or so, their family was sent out of the barracks. Somebody else had to take over the quarters. And then most of the children couldn't continue with schooling. So these are those things that the government has to do. These children, the wife and the rest of them, would require health care, which they cannot access again because the head of the family, who was the signatory to the Nigerian Health Insurance Scheme 10, is no longer available. They might not be able to have this health care they were having before. There are so many things that come into the mix which giving people a token will not take care of. And this is what the government should look into. This is what they should institutionalize. You know, state can decide, okay, I want to do this for my indigent people that have this kind of problem. But the federal government should look at building institutions that will take care of the family that these people left behind, better than giving them money.
But boss, Mr. William, why I'm asking this question, because we found ourselves in a period of politics where even the dead is being used to politicize a lot. We've seen how much this Oyo saga, this Oyo incident has dragged on for quite some time. And whether you like it or not, a lot of people have gained momentum. They've gained fame for themselves. That was why I asked the question that, do you think there should be a legislative rule or probably like a structure where a support fund should be established in our yearly budget, that this particular amount should go into this purpose, that when heroes like this, when they fall, so that there won't be any need for any politician politicizing it and taking advantage of it. Because whether I like it or not, names are being mentioned. Because with this donation now, you can't expect that it will not be reeling, they will not be ringing it when the time for campaign commences.
You know, it is very unfortunate that we play politics with the absurd. There are certain things that are morally reprehensible for any group of people to play with. You don't that our Senate should do. Unfortunately, I don't think we have the right people there presently. There wouldn't have been any need of giving money if you have given these people the right welfare. These things are institutions. You don't personalize institutions. That is why any country that wants to develop must build a strong institutions instead of strong personalities. Make the welfare package stick. Make the method of assessment stick. You don't need to do all this. They go for sure that they were doing and giving them money.
Okay. Okay, Clergy, the thing there is that you talk about institution. Most times, this institution needs to the way before you can come up with an institution like that, they have to sample the victims, they have to sample a lot of things before they come to a conclusion. And I think our system don't have time for that. The only time I see they have now presently is that the election is very close. And the citizens are a little bit concerned. Now, from your view, with what just been explained and with the topic, do you think that we have the time and the speed to construct what I call a well-scrutinized sampling before bringing it to an institution? Because every foreplay, everybody, citizens and non-citizens, actors and non-state actors, should be involved before such kind of thing come to play. Or what do you think, sir?
Well, this is where we look at our ability to copy things and copy the right ones. The Britons set up the army. And in setting up the army, they copied it from what they had in their country. And what they had in their country is serving them up to today. Our own should be able to serve us too. Once in a while, they tweak their own laws, they rejig it to meet the present circumstances, the current realities on ground. We don't need the entire Nigeria. As a matter of fact, we don't need politicians to regulate the army for us, because that will politicize the army. That will politicize the police. And by the time you politicize these people, you are politicizing our security, our collective security. If you politicize the police, you are politicizing our collective security, our collective sanity. The army has board. The army board will only need to sit down, look at the realities of the moment, look at the exigencies of their service, and decide that this is what we want. Present it, and then the stable government will approve it for them. Because they know that without them, we are in trouble. But because you see, they are putting square peg in round holes. People that shouldn't serve in the defense are serving in the defense. To them, they look at it as business as usual. And that is why you see that things are not going the way they should go. But we can still start now to change things. We can still get our acts right so that we can be able to secure ourselves and secure.
Can learn from countries that have what we call structured compensation. We have insurance and even proper welfare packages for families of fallen security personnel.
Well, if you look at a country like America, at least we copied our democracy from them. If we look at a country like Britain, they set up our army because it was West African Defense Force before or something like that, before we now made it Nigerian Army. Nobody will go to the Senate and say our foreign soldiers, we are giving them £5,000. Our foreign soldiers, The US were giving them $100,000. Everything is encapsulated there. We can look at these countries and draw inference and be able to make our own life and that of our soldiers better here. It's important for us because, I mean, it's laughable. You are giving money to a soldier that died in battle. It is not a case in isolation. Many are dying. Most of their forward operating bases have been overrun by these people, and personnel have died. How many of them you give this kind of money? We must copy what is working for other countries. The Senate, what is their business in saying we are approving money to give to soldiers? They should make laws that will make the average Nigerian military personnel and police always hold up their head high anywhere they are and say, to the end of the world, I will go for my country. We have misplaced priorities and we play with things we shouldn't play with. There are things a country does not play with. That is what we play with in this country.
All right, so now before we wrap up with the little time we have left, what role do you think the state government, and even not just the state government, the private organizations, even religious bodies and Nigerians in general, what role do you think they themselves can play in supporting these families themselves, and so that we don't tag them? And aside that, how do we embrace them so that they won't feel much of the loss that they've incurred?
Let me give you an example of Akwa Ibom State. Akwa Ibom State at the time allocated 150 million to the widows of fallen soldiers and 100 million from the enemy. That is what boosts morale, apart from the equipment given to you to go into the battle. It is the thought of, if the unexpected happens in this battle, what happens to the people I'm leaving behind?
Can they trust the government for support?
Exactly. Exactly.
So such assurance is needed.
For their people who are in service. Yes, it's a federal government job, but it's also a job that protects everybody in every nook and cranny of this country. Because the people that died in Oyo are not necessarily from Oyo State. The people that died in Borno are not necessarily from Borno State. The people that die in Katsina are not necessarily from Katsina. Okay, like Akwa Ibom, if a military personnel dies in battle, we will be able to do this. If the police dies, we will be able to do this. And for their families they leave behind, if they have conversations and employ them, those things are very, very encouraging. So that whatever the federal government does, the state will complement it.
So, clergy, in a nutshell, please, what is your parting shot? What will you say to Nigerians, and how will you sum up the whole situation for our viewers, Nigerians, and those of you, those of the viewers who are trying to have hope in this country? What will you say, please?
You know, my dear brother, number one, there is need to restore confidence in the services. In the last 4 or so months, you have how the military shouting that people from the southeast are no longer filling their quota in the army.
Yes.
It points to a loss of confidence in the system. It points to the fact that there is lopsidedness of compensation and form of payment in the system. And what just happened in Oyo is part of those things. The man that lays his life down for Nigeria in Oyo should get the same thing as the man that lays down his life in Borno, same as the man that lays down his life in Birnin Kebbi, same as the man that lays down his life in Akwa Ibom. It must be uniform. Let it not be that some people are lucky in debt, while others are unlucky in debt.
Okay.
That's a big message.
That's a big message. On behalf of Nigerians and on behalf of Early Startup, we say thank you very much for your fruitful insights on this topic. We hope when we call you again to come and do justice for one or two topics, you will be available, please.
God bless you, sir. God bless you, man.
Okay,
God
thank
bless
you very
Nigeria.
much.
God bless you too. Thank you, sir.
Yes, God bless Nigeria. I like the God bless Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
I would not want to argue on God bless Nigeria, because whether you like it or not, we're already blessed in this country. It's rather unfortunate that we are blessed with some individuals who don't know how blessed we are. But on that note, we want to wrap up the program this morning. Early starters, God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. But coming up next is Operatune Sports. Of course, Precious Oloshayo is my name, and stay tuned.
Michael Armstrong, just stay tuned to this channel. We have a lot of things for you. We want to let you know all our social media handle is where you can believe that's the only space they can say it. But follow our advice because they are coming up with something. If you talk too much,
exactly,
you don't have a hidden vacuum.
And so tomorrow is CGIF.
So stay
don't
tuned.
miss it.
Thank you. Michael Armstrong, bye for now.
Okay, actually it's both ways, depending on the kind of content you consume. Because even TikTok, that some things makes people dumber. Depending on the content, there are some contents that are actually smarter depending on the kind of content you consume. There are some that are even called brain rot, that affect how people think, ideologies and all. While there are actually some that are educative content that helps people smarter in their day-to-day lives.
Okay, thank you. This is social media. Everybody, both Baba, Mama, we don't hold, they don't decrease for this social media this time. They don't decrease. The thing where they happen now, if you see person, the thing where look inside Facebook, small bum shots, you go come wear them. Now anybody wear them before, you can't pull bra, you know go put top. Now only bra and bum shots. You go take and waka. You say heat too much. For this Nigeria, no be our culture. Now social media, now they spoil now. I be not be this, not be social media. The thing where they look for Facebook, I mean now in both places inside. So the thing where they do there, they do and here. The generation where they come, not be spoil, they spoil everything. Everything goes spoil now.
Okay, for instance, one of my friends wey dey use social media, ó máa ń ṣàwọn nǹkan míì tó pé tí nǹkan bá rí máa ń jẹ́ kí máa like social media gan, but ìṣekúṣe tí wọ́n ń ṣe ń sìn kò fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn like ẹ̀ mọ́, kò fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn like ẹ̀. But advice tí kò máa advice pé àwọn tó bá wà ní social media kò ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tí wọ́n bá ń ṣe nílé náà máa gbé sórí net pípọ́n máa fi bà social media jẹ́. Àwọn kan ṣe social media fún pé téèyàn bá téèyàn ní.
There are some things you see on social media that you will learn some things from it. So to me, I found social media as something that makes people smart.
So some people it makes them smarter and some people it makes them duller, cause most people their social media, yeah, it bring different impacts in people's life?
To an extent, social media is doing a good work. It depends on individual ways of accepting social media. Some people accept it as fun, as job.
But àwọn tí wọ́n fi ń ṣe nǹkan tí kò dáa, àwọn ni wọ́n lò against internet. Internet ó ń help èèyàn. Like many sometimes, ó ní àwọn tiẹ̀ tó yẹ pé ó níṣẹ́ tó yẹ pé ó máa fẹ́ ṣe gan normal day tó máa sọ pé ó yá wá sórí internet. Ó ní okay, like example now, ọmọ ẹ fẹ́ ṣe exam, ọmọ ní lọ sórí internet lọ check.
I think smarter, because we learn every day. If not for social media, there are some things that is happening now that we don't know, while social media is now bringing them out through maybe if anything is happening somewhere and they were like, okay, doing the camera, so you understand, so they have to post it so that people will learn from it.
Discipline is the backbone of every great nation. Following necessary rules and regulations is not just about obedience, it is about building a society that works for everyone. Every law, every guideline, every instruction is designed to protect lives, preserve order, and promote healthy living. Sadly, many of us ignore the little things that matter most. We litter the ground, dump refuse in gutters and unauthorized places, and then complain when floods and diseases threaten our communities. Cleanliness begins with responsibility, disposing of waste properly, keeping our surroundings tidy, and respecting the environment we all share. On our roads, rules exist for our safety. Pedestrians must use zebra crossings and pedestrian bridges where available, while drivers must obey traffic lights, avoid reckless driving, and resist the temptation of double parking. One wrong step on the road can end a life, but one right choice can save many. Public discipline is also essential. Open defecation, urinating in corners, or smoking carelessly in public spaces not only pollute our environment but also endanger lives. Remember, smokers are liable to die young, and second-hand smoke harms innocent people around them. Respect for public health is respect for humanity. Parking responsibly, crossing carefully, driving attentively, and disposing waste properly are not just laws. They are habits that reflect who we are as a people. A disciplined nation is a progressive nation. So, let us all play our part. The government makes the rule, but the people give them life. Together, by following the simple regulations of our state, we can build cleaner cities, safer roads, and healthier communities. The choice is ours to choose between disorder or discipline. Please note that a nation that keeps the rule keeps its future.
Dental care. Caring for the teeth is one of the simplest yet most important habits anyone can cultivate, because oral health goes far beyond a bright smile. The teeth play a vital role in helping us chew food properly, speak with clarity, and carry ourselves with confidence. When neglected, however, they can become damaged or decayed, leading not only to pain and loss of teeth, but also to health problems that affect the entire body. Are not cared for. These bacteria cause tooth decay, cavities, gum disease, bad breath, and in severe cases, infections that may spread to other parts of the body. This is why dentists emphasize the importance of regular cleaning and daily care of the teeth from an early age. Brushing twice a day, morning and night, with a soft bristle toothbrush and fluoride toothpaste helps remove plaque and food particles. Flossing once a day cleans the tight spaces that a toothbrush cannot reach, while rinsing with a fluoride or antibacterial mouthwash helps kill harmful germs, straighten enamel, and keep the breath fresh. Beyond cleaning, the food and drink choices we make have a significant effect on oral health. Reducing sugary snacks and carbonated drinks while eating more fruits, vegetables, dairy products, and nuts can make a real difference. Drinking plenty of water also helps wash away leftover food and supports saliva production, which is nature's way of protecting the teeth. Even with consistent home care, professional dental checkups remain essential. Visiting a dentist at least twice a year allows early detection of problems before they become serious, ensures a thorough cleaning of areas that are hard to reach at home, and provides professional advice on proper dental habits. Keeps the mouth and body healthier and saves the pain. It's about overall well-being.
Time once again. It is the time for passion, precision, and progress. You don't go to a sporting arena without planning to win. So what you perform shows your winning power, and if the winning power is not world class, others will collect the world class result. That does not stop you from being a winner. It is Operatune Sports with Michael Armstrong, aka the Estado Force. Now, I want to bring in something to you that just happened 2026, just a few days ago on Tour de France. Cycling, we just have a new record, and that record has not been broken for a very long time, but this is the first time that record is broken. Now on cycling, we have none other than this guy has been making wave. We even spoke about him yesterday. His name, the guy that has been on the Tour de France, making wave for all the Tour de France. His name used to be, they call him, target speed is 43.44 kilometer per hour, which is 27.0 meter per hour. Now, as it is now, just like I said, Tajay Padaka was champion for some time. In 2006, in the Tour de France, he raced 50.91 kilometer per hour, making him the fastest road stage, and making him one of the fastest, which is 43.44. I'm still reading about the average speed of Tajid Pogacar. Now on 2026, we have a new guy. They will show you the picture. He's a singular guy. On 2026, we have somebody new in Tour de France. Tour de France, that is our hero. His name is Soren Wangiscott. Yes, Soren Wangiscott. He meant most recent stage with 11 in 2026 Tour de France that was done in La Lorient. He raced 50 kilometers per 91. Soren Wostencroft. Now, Soren Wostencroft is the fastest road stage in Tour de France history. Nobody has beaten that record. He's the first person and the only person with this world record. Everybody was stunned. Now, the Tour de France history have changed the Vicky and the Never. Now, the average speed of 51 can give him 31.6 meter per hour. His stage has reacted to the bristling pace from start to finish, breaking the previous record for the mass stage road stage. In overall Tour de France average speed is still hereby by 2025 edition won by Tadej Pogačar. But this new guy, who is known as Warren Scott, have done something very unique. He races for Uno X Mobility. Uno X Mobility, like I said, they have their own club side. That is cycling. Will bring the most interesting information to you. That is the world best presently in cycling, a new record, a new world record, new heights. Then from cycling, we are going to the next sports story we have for you, and it will be coming on your screen. The next story we have for you on sports is none other than the next story we'll be having for you on sport is none other than talking to you about athletics. Athletics, we just left cycling. We're entering athletics. On this show, we told you the show is going to extend to 1 hour. And before it extends to 1 hour, we'll be bringing you all form of information and entertainment when it comes to the world of sports. Now we are moving to athletics. And athletics, the first person you'll be seeing on your screen is Konyisola Ajayi. Konyisola Ajayi plays for Osborne. He runs for Osborne. He is the Nigerian sprinter, and he runs for Osborne, and he's a Nigerian sprinter. He's so very ready that they said he's going to bring them a lot of laurels when it comes to the London Diamond League, like football half league, athletics half league, and no other station does it better like Operatune Sport. Operatune Sports will tell you that they have their own league, just like the Tour de France. Everything have their own league. That's how they make money. July 18, 2026, as he continues building towards the major international championship later this season. Konyisola Ajayi heads to London, outstanding from afar, while winning the men's 100 performance in Profontaine Classic Diamond League, meeting Eugene and defeating the strongest international field in the Diamond League debut. Now, he's continuing his race on the Olympian remarks in 2026 season, established him as one of the world's fastest emerging sprinter. Pamparampara, that is Konyisola Ajayi, the man with the base, chest out, crested, with Akimbo. Awards are coming. You are the hope of Africa, hope of Nigeria, and you also had a medal to the world. Yet from sprinting, he's a runner, he's a sprinter. He's none other than the next person you'll be seeing on your screen is Ezekiel Nathaniel. Let me call it here, it's Ezekiel Nathaniel. He also was with Konyisola Ajayi in the Prophet League just recently. Now he's also set to represent in London Diamond League on Saturday 18, 2026, where he will compete with the men's 400 hurdle. He's a hurdle man. He jumps, he runs, he scoops, he switches. Instead of time to run faster, time waits for him. They run and time catch up with them. These are people who we call the Flash of Africa, one of the fastest men on earth, and they are doing it. Now the Diamond will start this Saturday in the city of London. He has a run of 47.37 seconds this season, making him one of the fastest athletes in the field. Then in London race is important turn up, and it also prepares him for the season's major international championship. Hey, London, here comes Ezekiel Nathaniel, the Nigerian sprinter, one of the fastest people on earth. Stay tuned to this station. We'll bring you more information on all kind of sports. I will be bringing you what stands out, just like we did on this just like we did today on cycling. Now, let me just chime in some of the things that has been happening in the world of sports. I want to first take you to the Brooks backs England on what we read for you earlier on this station. Now this one is the Sport Prayer, where we tell you word to word what is happening in like the Morning Star Sports, where the skipper insists team that he insists the team right direction ahead, carrying flags. That's on cricket. You'll be seeing it on your screen. They'll be showing somebody with a baton. Yes, saying they are heading. They want to face India, and most times the highest wicket and triggered is between England. Now the English side is optimistic that England is going to move forward under leadership, even though if they lost at Edgbaston, the England cricket side have a lot of whip in their baton, and the wicket will come beyond the overrun. Then from there, let me give you a dive into the new club that just the Premiership, but for women. And the clubs there are not they are between 10 to 12. They say they should increase it, but they are looking at funding. Now they have a new former Lioness, Bethany, England top, who joined newly promoted Crystal Palace on a free transfer, leaving Tottenham Hotspur's women. It was announced yesterday that 32-year-old has agreed with a 2-year deal contract for the Women's Super Leagues club with the option for a further 12-month renewal. She's coming with experience, she's coming with time, she's coming with spirit, she's coming with exposure. Like they say, you can pay salary, but you cannot buy experience. So now it's a uphold signing for the club. England said Palace are an ambitious club. They have been in the WSL before. They've had 2 amazing promotions now, and I think they can see their investment in women's game. They are really pushing us to want to amount to our best, and they've got amazing facilities. That is what the lady is saying. Bethany is congratulating Crystal Palace. Now the big question there is this: won't you congratulate your club? Is congratulating the club? Maybe he ran out of contract from Spurs, then he has to go. Now we are not spending much time here. We have just what you're seeing on the screen. We want to delve into it. Now, some people feel they are the owner of a particular right. Now, we see the flag of the PSG saying that Aston Villa should drop Visit Rwanda. It is exclusively to the PSG. Now, Amnesty International have warned that Aston Villa partnership with Visit Rwanda will not augur well, will be unearned if it continues. Now, the big question is that why I said they should not use the African notion to sports watch. It is terrible human rights record. Now, the Midland Club confirmed that the agreement on Thursday afternoon was describing the most important sponsorship deal in the history of the club, with the weight of Rwanda logo and the feature of the free transfer and for the men's and women's football academy team. Now, however, the deal has been sealed with a little bit of criticism. Now, Amnesty is saying that the British head of the campaign, Felix Jenkins, told me that we should not use using the Rwanda spotlight. Why? Because it is dragging some negative attention from terrible human rights. That the Rwanda is not really doing well when it comes to handling human beings. They should not politicize football. Football is a process, and time is also reward for passion. The potpourri of intention. Do not politicize football. That's my advice. Then, going very fast, we do not have much time. We saw Soccer Punch in the next screen on what will be shown on your screen. Now, what is the Soccer Punch? Messi Argentina complete a comeback to end England. That's what you'll be seeing on your screen. World Cup dreams. England World Cup dreams. The Albiceleste has come up with Lionel Messi doing an assist after goal scored by Gordon. Then they have an equalize from Enzo. And from Enzo, after Enzo Fernandez, now you have Lautaro Martinez. Then we had in the defense, they had to bring one of Messi's boy, one of Messi's person, who he said should come to Inter Miami. But Messi has been unsung in this game. He brought Ronaldo de Paul. Ronaldo de Paul did the dirty work. England could not equalize after the late shocker from Lautaro Martinez. That is why you're seeing the Soccer Punch. Then from there, let's just round up this, which what will be showing on your screen. We'll round up as today is a free holiday in football for those people who are interested in the World Cup. Today is a very free holiday. There will be no stress. What we discussed for you, and the next thing you'll be seeing on screen is Messi gain, Lions pain. Argentine legend breaks England hearts as champion set up Spain from the Albiceleste, Scolani's club, who said that he trained in Italy, that he wants to see Italy in the World Cup. Very hard one fell there, but the game is not for prospect. The game is for precision. So you want to be in the World Cup, you need to be planning now. It's not when you do like some countries, when it gets to their NFA, they will start planning for what will come 4 years. In 2 years, you will never get the same results. And if you keep changing coaches, you will always have issues. Didier Deschamps has been the coach of France for over 10 years now, and we have Scolani for 8 years. And their teams, they passed through tough times. They are still doing well. So today is free day for us. England is out, and Messi is still up for the Golden Boot because he has 8 goals. Mbappe have 8 goals here. England and France will be playing the 3rd place match. That's what is happening. Then let's move away from the World Cup. We want to talk about other things. Now WAFCON is coming, and they will be starting in the next month. Now it's on the 5th, but as it is now, Nigeria is playing friendly, and Nigeria will take it again. Or Nigeria, I don't think she's speaking about something negative. Then from there, let us move to the transfer. On the transfer, we have Vinicius Jesus is not signing any paper because he feels that if he signs, the big question is this: he's here for 220 million, breaking the bank to buy Olis. The highest money, if they agree this deal, that will be the highest money ever paid for a singular player in the history of football. Olis is being priced for 220 million. Yes, Mbappe says he wants Olis, and that is putting Vinicius on the brink of shaking. And Rodri is still, so Vinicius is not signing or Bacola because Man United wants to strengthen his front and want to contest for the title. And you know, they say they believe that after Arsenal have won the league, the next person to win the league is Man United. That it has been like that in the time of Alex Ferguson. But let me tell you, you can't see me. It might be a shock. I'm not just trying to please a fan here. I'm telling you what is happening. Then Arsenal say they won't give up on the transfer. Arsenal say they won't give up on Alvarez. Alvarez likes Barcelona, but Arsenal have a better financial backing, and Arsenal have better. Andrew better because better used to be an Atletico Madrid gaffer when it comes to sport director. So Arsenal believe they can get the guy, but the guy is interested in Barcelona. But Barcelona has been a big club, lackluster. They are not trying to force it. Why Galatasaray believe they can sign Foden? What a joke! A lot of British people will say because Foden is too young. But Gala has money. They also have oil. They can do the deal if Foden just agrees. Zlatan on the transfer note says that Madrid should go for Rodri. but he's celebrating Rodley magnificent play in the middle, handling almighty France, who's known as the Blow. That's having the star-studded team, having what we call a 4-generational team. They don't say, let's give you Alvarez, give me Osimhen. Let's take Alvarez, give me Osimhen. Now you see Barcelona, they are big clubs. They want to get the best of the best. Osimhen have height, have chest, have everything. And Osimhen is not as injury-prone as this fellow. Osimhen's presence shakes the defense. Now, every club is pricing Osimhen very highly. Now, let's just want to give you the teaser, what you're seeing on the screen. The teaser is Brazilian legend Pelé is the youngest player to have ever scored in the World Cup at the Plus. Those days are important. It's good to keep record. When you keep record will keep event. And event will give you time and purpose. And those time and purpose culminate to what is called history. And this is our teaser for today. Let me give you the wise word of Tantanasio. Tantanasio says, you pack yourself in the bus. You don't really need to go toe-to-toe with the greatest. All you need to do is to become the latest by forcing him to make mistakes. Those are the words. That is how we are going to round up